Alright, so this video is going to cover this Nested If Statements Worksheet. And if anybody wants this, I'm not going to upload it to the class, but I guess I could email it to you if you're really wanting it. Okay. So anyway, and these are just problems, typical kind of warm-up problems I would do with high school students. Obviously, you know, this is all online, so but you can kind of work through these. So what do we got? A is 10. A is 10. B is 5. So is 10 less than or equal to 5? Nope, that's not true. So A would stay 10 right here, and B would be 5. Okay. Okay, next one is okay, so we got 10 and we got 5. Is 10 less than or equal to 5? No. So nothing would print. So okay. Next up, 10 and 5. Is 10 less than 5? Nope. So if 10 is less than 5. Okay, so these are nested. So 10 is not less than 5. So none of this stuff would even hit in here, and it would just print 5 right here and then 10. Okay. So the output for this one is 5 and then 10. All right. So in order to get inside this nested loop, this right here would have to be true, which it's not. So next up, 10 and 5. So 10 is greater than 5. So then we go down here and we got 5 and 8. 5 and 8. 5 plus 8. So 5 plus 8 is 13. Is that less than 10? No, that's not true. So it would print this right here. It'd print 5 and then 8. So 5, 8. Okay. And so because this if was true, we wouldn't run that. Okay. All right. Number 5. We've got again 10 and 5, 10 and 5. Okay, I just want to make sure 10 and 5. So that's true. So this is 8 plus 5, and that sets C to 13. So C is 13, so it'd be temp, and then 13. What is temp equal to? Temp is 0, so this would print 0 and 13. Okay. And yep, that's it. Because that was true, then that was true, so we don't go into here, and this one's true, so we don't go into there. We got 10 and 8. It's not true. So then we check, is 5 greater than temp? That is true. So 5 is greater than 0. So then we do 10 minus 8 and reassign that to A, and that gives us 2. Okay, so A is 2. And then we get down here, so we print 2, and then B is 5. And C is 8. So 2, 5, and 8 prints. 2, 5, and 8. Okay. A is 10. C is 8. That's not true. So we go into here and we do 10 plus 5. So C is equal to 15 now. 10 plus 5 is 15. So if 5 is greater than 0, which it is, we do what? 5 plus 15 right here, and that equals 20. So A is 20, B is 5, and C is 15. So 20, 5, and 15. 8, you got 10 minus 5, that's going to equal 5. And is that greater than or equal to 8? No. So we go down here and we have 5. Is that greater than 0 plus 2? That is true. So we do 0 minus 1, and the new temp is -1. Okay. So then we print -1. Okay. 9, the following values for Boolean variables x, y, and z: false, true, false. So following expressions in the blank. So I guess we're just going to do left to right here. So false or true is one or the other true. That's true. So that side's true. And then we look at z as false. So we got true and false is false. Okay. You got y is not true, so that's false. So this is F right here. False in anything, this whole thing is false. So this side, this side right here is false, and then we got this side, not false. Not false is true, right? And y is true, so true and true is true. So you got false or true. Is one or the other true? Yes, so the whole thing is true. False and anything is false, so this whole side is false. And then z is false, so false or false is false. False or true, one or the other is, yep, that's true. But if something's not true, it's false, so this whole thing is false. False or false is false. And then if something's not true, it is false. Okay, so you got false, true, false, false, false. And I think I might have done these in a previous video, but I'll do them again here. True and true, true and false, false and true, false and false. So those are your truth tables and the different values that A could be. So you got A or B is one or the other true, so that's true. One or the other true, that's true. One or the other true, that's true, and that's false. So you got true and whatever B is right here. So if this equation is true right here, which it is, so you got true and true, true and true, that ends up being true. Okay. Then you got true and false, so T and true and false. Are they both true? No, so that's false. You got true and then in this case B is true, true and true is true. And you got false and false. False in anything is false. Okay. Next up we got same thing here when you're filling out your truth tables. Sorry for my handwriting, it's hard writing with these pens. So you got true and true is true, true and false is false, false and true is false, and false is false. So with ands, they both have to be. And that's why I kind of like the word both better when it comes to this stuff, because are both of these true? Yep. Are both of these true? False. Are both of these true? False. Are both of these true? False. So you got true, and in this case, or true is one or the other. True, that's true. You got true, or sorry, you got false, or, and then A is true. Is one or the other true? Yep, that's true. You got false, or, and then A is false. So is one or the other true? Nope, it's false. And then you got what? False, or false. Is one or the other true? Nope, so it's all false. And sorry, I actually need to go through the multiple choice. So, so I filled these out. What's the answer? Whenever A is true, well, A is true right here, but the whole thing's false. Whenever B is true, so that's true and that's true. True and true. Okay, so B looks good so far. We got to look at the other ones. Whenever either A is true or B is true. Well, again, A is true, and that's false. And in this case, whenever A is true or B is true, if that's true, then it's true. Or wait, we don't know because that's false right there. This one's false, but or B is true. This one, I would just say B is the best answer. Whenever they're both true, whenever both A is true and B is true. Well, that's also, well, whenever they're both true, the whole thing is true. This is probably the best answer, though, because it covers this one and this one. So I'd say stick with B. 11. Whenever A is true, so when those are true, those are true. Whenever B is true, it works for this one, it doesn't work for that one, so that's not right. Whenever either A is true or B is true, A is true. That won't work because when one or the other is true, it's still false. That's why up here, whenever A is true or B is true, you know, up here C actually does work for this one and this one. But still, I think B is the best answer. Anyway, whenever they're both true, I mean that's right. But again, so this one's also correct because whenever they're both true, it is true. But it just doesn't cover this one down here. So whenever B is true, well. Yeah, it doesn't cover this one right here. So this is the best one, is 11. 12. True and true is true. True and false is false. False and true is false. False and false is false. So you got what? True and false and false and then A is true. That's true. False and true is false. False and false is false. False and false is false. Okay. So the only true time it happens is when both of those are true. So it'd be D. All right, so I'll write these out. Smallest of three numbers, so write a program that sets a variable to the smallest of three numbers. Enter three numbers and display the smallest of the three. All right, so I don't know, I'd say I'd have like 3 numbers, so I'd say if num1 is less than num2, then I gotta check to see if num1 smallest, right? Yep, is less than num3, and if it is, then the smallest is equal to num1. Bear with me if my, else if num2 is less than num3. So we wouldn't get down here unless num2 is less than num1. So if it is, we're checking to see if num2 is less than num3. If it is, the smallest equals num2. Else smallest equals num3. And I don't know, bear with me on some of these, like obviously the else is not uppercased. I'm not going to fix that. That should be pretty easy to understand. All right, and then, so then it wants to print it out. So you do your cout, smallest. Okay. All right, using the following chart, write an if-else statement that assigns spring, summer, fall to season, depending on if. Okay, so if the number is 1, so if season number is equal to 1, then season is equal to spring. Else if equals 2. I'm just going to move it onto the new page so it's just 1. And then what? Else winter. Or we could do, could do what? Season equals winter. I would actually do this. I'd keep it as an if-else statement, and then the last one would be else season equals what? Error. You entered a number outside the range 1 through 4, or something like that. Okay. Next up, sales commission rate. So what would it be? It's something like this. It'd be if sales are less than 10,000, the commission rate equals 0.10. Else if sales are less than and equal to 15,000, It's got to be lowercase. Okay. Last one on these. So you got the marginal tax brackets for single filers. So what would this be if income is less than 9,275? Marginal tax rate is equal to 0.10, else if income .15, else if income's less than 0.25, marginal tax rate equals 8. Income is less than 413,350. Marginal tax rate is equal to 0.33. Else if, look at how ridiculous this next one is. Like, you know, bump them up to here or bump them down to 33, but what's the point? How many people make exactly, you know, whatever that would be, like close to between $2,000. I mean, you know, look at all these other ones. That's 23,000. You know, that's 100,000. That's 60-some thousand or 50. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, ridiculous. 415,050. Tax rate equals 0.396. Okay, so and then you just print it, and I need to change these obviously to lower cases, but you know, thanks for bearing with me. I didn't want to open up Visual Basic just to do these problems that I can kind of type out in Word, but anyway, the answers, you know, I'll slowly go through them. Down here, you know, and I, you know, allowed the user to enter in information. Again, you should understand that all by now. The purpose is to write these programs out, not necessarily ask the user type in information. That gets kind of redundant when you're working on worksheets. So anyway, this video's done.